that if you eat those food outside Akwa Ibom State, for example, you go to Abuja and you're staying 2-3 days away from home. You eat rice the first day, the second day, the third day, you're hungry of Akwa Ibom food, and you see Calabar kitchen. Oh wow, Calabar food.
You're excited.
And then you branch. They put before you whatever they claim to be that Calabar food. You cry in your heart. At the end of the day, you find out that the person behind in the kitchen is not from Akwa Ibom or Cross River. So that is my gospel right now. Own our food by loving it and cooking them. And let the world know that we own the best delicacies down this side, and we cook them because we are proud. What does it take to cook them? Equip yourself. It is not only knowing how to cook in the kitchen, it goes beyond that. I think we'll talk about that as we progress.
That's like very, very, that's the first time I'm hearing about food, and it's so passionate. There is the passion behind the food expression. I'm like, okay, wow, okay. So we know that we want to talk about like even foods that we know that we have here in Akwa Ibom, or like in the Aqua Cross that people don't even know.
Yeah.
Like when they think of Akwa Ibom foods, people just quickly think of, oh, afang, afiai fere, then like ekpang koko, and then that's it. People do not know that we have other, deep-rooted foods.
We have more than 300 delicacies. We have more than 300 delicacies. Let me say something about, we mentioned the edikangikong.
Yeah.
On the menu list in my restaurant right now, I have vegetable soup and I have edikangikong.
They're two different things.
They're two different things. What we cook all over Uyo, claiming to be edikangikong, is not edikangikong.
Oh, I see.
It's vegetable soup. It's eferikong. Eferikong is different from edikangikong. The process of cooking eferikong is different from cooking edikangikong. So when I go to places, I see edikangikong and I just laugh, I smile. My friends who knows me knows that being a Yoruba attack one and being a fact person are two different things. So we need to understand our food. We have beyond afang, we have beyond edikangikong and eferikong. Francis is looking at me because he's trying to, you're understanding a little bit now because you never took notice of the fact that they are two different things, right?
Yeah, I know that at home, I've prepared like the recipe for edikangikong have vegetables.
It's almost the same ingredients.
Same ingredients.
Yeah, I think
Almost,
because we're even supposed to ask her like, what's the difference? What's that thin line between vegetable soup and edikangikong?
Please, there's a place called Uyai College of Creative Arts, and it has hospitality department, culinary arts. You can.
Okay, this is really tough. At this point, I would like to really, really encourage you. If you're not joining this conversation, you're doing really bad already, because this is very emotional for me right now. This is hearing about food, and it has a very emotional feel. So feel free to join.
It's making you feel like how many food do I actually know how to cook?
You're just inside my mind. I'm like thinking, yeah, are you even ready for this? Like at this moment, really, I'd like to encourage you, join the conversation. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We have phone numbers on the screen. If you have any quick food question that you want to ask our guests, it's a good time to take advantage of our presence, because I'm sure you do not know that we have 300,
more than
300 plus variety of foods in the Aqua Cross region.
But let's look at some of the other foods. I know that for people of us like those of us who are from Oron, will always very much in love with Ekbang,
yes,
and Otong.
Eferotong.
Yes, and I know that across the nook and crannies of Akwa Ibom State, there is always that particular kind of delicacy that is maybe attributed to a particular community. True. Can you just let us into some of those amazing other delicacies that we have in Akwa Ibom State that people rarely get to hear about?
Like, let me talk about mine first.
Yeah, like
let me be selfish. Yes, let me be selfish now. I am from Uran. As I said, this is my village. I am married into Esreke. When I was growing up, I'm coming from a food background. My grandmother, my mother are very good cooks. There is this food I used to love a lot. It is called Isara. Isagada.
Okay.
The Ibibio people call it Asaiwa. But my people call it Isagada. Yesterday, I had dropped it on my menu. Isagada. It is made out of cassava, just like ekbangukwo, but tied very tiny, into tiny bits. It's almost flying away. But if you come to my restaurant, you'll find Isagada every Saturday.
Like, the name Isagada alone would
strange.
make me want to, like,
yes.
I don't even know how would, for persons who are not even used to that name, how would they even know that that is the kind of food that is there?
Okay, like I said, if you come to my restaurant and you see names you don't understand, you always ask questions, right?
Definitely.
You always ask questions. Excuse me, waiter, can you explain?
Wow.
And it is also the responsibility of our parents to try and cook our food. It's not only Indomie for the children. What do you want to eat? Indomie. What do you want to eat? Rice.
But we're even getting to a day where the average young person that is coming up does not even know how to make these meals. Because a lot of us are sworn with making intercontinental, that's how they call it now. You know, we want our continental dish making skills to be better than the ones we do.
That is why I mentioned our parents. How did they start? Everybody is doing fast food now. We are busy going to work, you come back, you want to throw things, stir fry, fast food into the plate for the children. And when that child grows up, he will grow up with what he knows. And he will try to perfect what he knows. Remember what the Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should go. When he grows up, he will not depart from it. It takes the grace of God for a child who knew nothing to try to learn what he did not know. He will perfect what he knew, the little he knew when he grows up. So our parents has a lot to do. Like I mentioned, my grandmother used to tell me, and then my mother. And then right now in my house, I have 2 chefs. The youngest is 12, professional chef. Try to expose them to food, so that from generation to generation, we know our food before any other. It's just like the language. If your language, a vernacular, you greet a child right and good morning, eat them full, I'm fine. It goes the same with food or any other thing. Food is culture. We should try to protect it.
Are there any convening ways, like going like beyond your restaurant and the things you do as a person for business? Are there ventures like government collaborations or NGO collaborations where we come together with opportunities to present our food and transfer this culture to the next generation?
Don't take me to areas I don't like to talk about.
Okay, please talk about it for a bit.
No, I can talk about government.
Okay, like maybe
government
NGO arrangements or people, like maybe friends come together and we push an initiative.
Hey, now you're talking. Government don't support. So I don't have tried over the years several things for government to support. From the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, no, they don't support. In Akwa Ibom State, no. So don't take me into sensitive areas. Year before last, there was a group of young men who came to social media and caused a lot of trouble. And we had Iferefang and Atama fighting which one is superior. Somebody drew my attention to it. Auntie Maria Therese, you are a food person. You've not said anything on this. So I went to social media, I saw it, and I invited them. And I created what I called the soups war. Instead of having 2 soups on the table fighting, we brought 10 soups. We even had Afain Tukun. We created 10 teams. Team Afain Tukun, Team Atama, Team Afang, Team A3, and the rest. Last year we couldn't because the economy was not encouraging. And then people who should support, like you said, I'm not mentioning names anymore, wouldn't support. But this year, we're having soups war again on Akwa Ibom Day, the 26th of September.
Yeah.
This is September already.
Yes, a few weeks.
We've started publicity already, so we're going to have us bringing 7 soups on the table. 7 is a round number, so we talk about it. So very soon, if you want to eat more Akwa Ibom soups outside Afang and Atama, you'll be coming to Soups War this year. Yes. Wow. And then we are bringing different kinds of food. Last year we had a ferotong.
Yeah, I saw.
A ferotong and a
I saw, and I
what's a ferotong like? Because I think I'm even hearing like for the first time.
In the Calabar people, when I say the Calabar people, I'm talking about the Fox-speaking people and Akwa Ibom people in general, because we speak and understand ourselves. Yes, the Northern Cross River, if I'm speaking, the Compesa won't understand, Oguja won't understand. So the Calabar people, Efa, and Akwa Ibom generally. So the Calabar people have different kinds of ways of making a ferotong. The Oron Otong is different from a Otong, and it's different from a Bibi Otong. But basically, it is bush mango.
And that's the name for Mbupabuyo in English.
Yes.
It's bush mango. It's bush mango, my people. Please, I need the camera to be on me. Where's the camera? Someone is not looking at me. Please do it quick. Guys, did you just know? Mbupabuyo is called bush mango. Did you just learn that? We just learned it. Mbupabuyo, that thing. Mbupabuyo is called bush mango.
So if you go to the market, you can say I'm looking for bush mango.
Okay. You will come out of that market, you will not find Mbupabuyo, I promise you. Whoa. Okay, well, you can continue.
So we have different ways of making it. So I cannot say which one is better. Okay, I can't say my own is
a ferotong,
yes,
Mbupabuyo, made by bush. I want to make bush mango soup.
Yes.
Bush mango soup.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So Soups War is coming.
Yes.
And the foods are going to be made in a quantity that people can actually come by and eat.
Yes. Year before last, when we had the first edition, I have passion for this. Anything I do, passion drives me. So it was free, if you remember.
Yes, I do. It was free.
10 soups. And we had more than 500 guests trooping in. Because, when government is doing things, they don't remember us, the common people. So the festival of Akwa Ibom, the birth of Akwa Ibom, is always done around government this, government that. So we small people, we did that for us, our kind. And the space was not enough for everybody. Because on that day, everybody wants to celebrate the state. It's a day of celebration. But unfortunately, this year, I will not be able to sponsor food for free. So people will have to buy with a token. I was the one who cooked the 10 delicacies myself. This time around, we're going to give it out to food vendors. You can come and buy Team Atama's spot and cook Atama. Pick Team Afang and cook Afang. Pick Team Afang to cook. The first edition, we had several people who came in and wanted to eat a fine tokun. It finished first.
What's that about? What's a fine tokun?
Where are you from?
I'm representing the generation of people who do not know this thing.
You don't know a fine tokun?
Yes, I do know.
Okay. Which generation are you representing?
See my life on national TV. I'm being caught on camera.
You are Jebota Pikin, please. We also, the local people in those days also had fast food. Fast food didn't start today. So fine token is fast food.
And you don't need to cook.
You don't cook it.
Oh, that's in like this palm pepper.
Can you imagine?
She
knows the fine. She was forming.
Yes. I'm remembering from
token.
childhood.
Oh.
Pepper and crayfish.
And
I think onions. Just
yes, and then a little kind of fish. Ibat.
Hi.
And then you go in the mortar with either gari or fufu.
That's a fine
When our parents used to come back from farm or school or work and wanted something sharp, that's fast food. So it didn't start today. The white man didn't teach us fast food. Our parents already knew what was called fast food.
And I'm very sure that a meal like a fine tokun is very extinct.
Yes.
A lot of families do not even... Because, I mean, it took me a while to remember. I just had a quick flashback to childhood. I know it's something we used to do in our house.
Yes.
Whoa. If I even told my sibling, I'm sure none of them will know.
So that is it.
Wow. Food history is really having me like... you know, in the right places. Ekpan koko and asaiwa almost in the same category. Isarada, ayanekpan. And then there's some meals that they present during like traditional marriage rites and some of those things, of which we are having an infiltration of fried rice and
corn.
I don't know about that one.
We don't know about that one. So
I don't know about that one.
The seasonal food made out of corn.
Is it grounded?
Yes. It's almost like moi moi, but it is not wrapped. You understand? It's a form of porridge too.
Okay.
Yes.
Almost like in that category where they want to make like a koki and
yes,
stuff.
like a koki.
Oh wow.
It's just like a koki, but it is not wrapped like a koki.
Me that does not like a koki.
Excuse me.
I don't like a koki.
I'll shift. I love a koki.
Yes, so I think that's another part that we should come to. You know, where we have people selecting food.
Yes.
You know, taste buds that cannot handle some of this food. Like me as a person, even in our Akwa meals, I don't eat edikaiko.
Okay.
And I don't eat, and it's melon our food.
Yes, eferikun. Yes.
Okay.
We have our own way of cooking eferikun. It's different from the Igbo ikun or the Yoruba egusi. Do you understand?
Wow.
And ours is better.
Okay.
Why you sound like you're salivating?
Exactly.
Eferikun is different from your egusi soup.
Wow. Because I know some, like, I think one of the reasons why I don't eat is because some people make it and it's lumpy.
Okay.
Yeah, some people make it.
There are different ways. Even in our place, there are different ways of cooking it. Like 3 or 5 ways of cooking melon soup.
Wow. I think a question was coming to my mind. Now, we have a generation of people that when we want to make meals, we hop on the internet and ask questions. How do I make asaiwa? How do I make all those kinds of things. So some of these are foods that are going extinct, 300 plus. We just know about maybe 5 to 10. Are they avenues we can find, you know, this, like you rightly said, some people are cooking this food all over the nation and even internationally, but they're not Akwa people and they do not know the roots or intention of how to make these foods on the internet.
Okay. Right now, I've recorded, I don't know of any other platform to answer your question. But personally, I have recorded 14 episodes of the TV program will be called Calabar Food with Uyai. So I've done 14 episodes already. Very soon, I will launch them on a platform.
Please, Spectrum Television.
Okay, come meet me, we talk.
We are poaching you to come
meet me, we talk.
Yeah.
So I have 14 episodes. So in that 14 episodes, I have interesting food that we don't even know. So from there, we'll move. So yes, I am here to talk about my food.
Wow, wow, that's awesome. Bringing us more opportunities to get to know the history of our foods, understanding what I know that sometimes some foods represent something.
Yes.
There are foods that, you know, about maternity life.
It tells you, okay, I am a storyteller. I was as a food person, as a chef, I tell stories with food. So every food has a storyline, has history, has literature. So it is left for the storyteller to tell the story properly.
Okay. So tell us one story about one food.
Okay. I'm always having stories. When I grew up, I think it took me about 5 years or 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, to eat normal food. I was a Ovaltine Cerelac biscuit child. So one day, we used to live in Calabar. One day, one holiday, we came home into this village. In fact, as I was driving down the hill, I remember it just played in my... We were sitting, playing with other children. I was playing with other children outside my grandmother's house. We're playing a cap. You don't know what a cap is.
Yeah,
I definitely don't.
Use broom to turn it. Yes, I used to play.
Like me. So, as we're playing, I noticed the other children who surrounded me stood up and ran away. I looked at them. I didn't understand why they ran away, so I continued with my life. The next minute, I heard somebody carry me, lift me up from back. So as I turned around, can you imagine what I saw? Igbo.
Oh.
Masquerade lifted me, and I had never seen Igbo in my life that pretty.
Warned the masquerade.
For it to let me go. So the masquerade now handed me over to my uncle, and it left. For some days I couldn't sleep. I was about 5 or 6 years. I can still remember. For some days I couldn't sleep. So my aunt in Uyo, who heard my mother had come to the village from Calabar, came visiting and saw me in a state that for a child it wasn't pleasing. So she asked what the matter was, and she was told that Igbo carried me and all that. I couldn't sleep. I had nightmares and all. So she took me to Uyo. The following morning, made pancakes and ogi, akamu, pap. I finished the pancakes. I didn't touch the pap. So what my aunt did was, of blessed memory, I couldn't eat for some days. She tried everything. Every time is Ekpo, immediately I put in my mouth, it would come out again. So on this fateful day, beautiful plate of soup was brought to me. Beautiful. And I ate it. It was very nice. The aroma alone, oh wow. To see if you are guessing, if you get it right, I'll give a plate of food in my restaurant on Monday. It's atama. Atama is the best soup in the whole wide world.
And to think that is one of my favorite soups.
How? I said, what the hell is this? Very angelic, very heavenly. I licked everything. So my aunt said, nobody should touch that soup. Oh, it is a Mems Ono. A Mem is my native name. It's a Mems Ono. Till that the whole pot. It was my own. So that was my first journey into eating
Atama.
Our delicacy. So from Atama, I started exploring. Okay, if Atama can be this nice, then others. And true, I don't know what stuck me with in 5 to 6 years. So it's either Atama.
Do you have a favorite food?
Atama, you just hate me.
Okay, now let's move our conversation to another angle. Now, we know that parents play a very vital role in what we grow up to like or love as children. And oh my goodness, these guys want to kill us with
I'm
this.
sure this does not even represent what Mama would call Atama.
It does.
It does.
However it is, it's Atama. Atama is Atama for life.
So which means for that competition from last year, Atama won for you, whether or not?
No. In all fairness, we have more than Atama. A3 won. Because there was a food competition, A3 won.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But then let's look at what is the role of parents in ensuring that you place a yannick bang and a tongue in front of them. You can always be sure that you come back and meet it exactly the same way you put it.
You have parents. They have a very important role to play in this. Look for ways that the child will eat what you give them. Balanced diet. Remember, I have a son who came for holiday. I'm giving him this food. He said, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. What do you like? And I started looking for ways I can make him eat the food. He is 18. He clocked 18 last Sunday. What did I do? Tell him the health benefits. You cannot only eat rice, carbohydrates. I'm old. I'm getting older now. I'm 50. I'm having arthritis. If I had eaten right, very early stage, we have to eat balanced. We have to create ways that our children will like our food. Look for something and add with Anyanek Bang and Otong. If you don't eat this, I will not give you this fruit juice.
Rewards.
Device means they will eat it because they want a reward. You don't just keep a financial.
You've gravely mentioned the fact that Akwa Ibom is blessed. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much. I don't want to salivate again, so take it off.
No, please let them so that they can relate.
They're looking for my trouble, seriously. They want me to go back to the village, and I'm not ready to do that right now.
They need to be able to relate with what Mama is talking about, sir.
Yeah, but then, Mom, let's look at the opportunities that are bound in the food industry that we as a people, we as Akwa Ibom people, are not taking the best use. We are not ranked these as far as unemployment is concerned, but there are a multitude of opportunities that are bound in different sectors outside of government jobs, government establishment that people can actually take advantage of that we are not looking at. So let's look at the opportunities available in the food industry.
Sometime last year, a judge in the state, met me and wanted the service of a cook. I told her, ma'am, the challenge we have right now is that our people are not embracing these opportunities. So I'll advise you, get somebody, train, bring her, we train the person leaving. That lady called me some time ago and thanked me, the judge, for that advice. And the girl also called me sometime a few weeks back and thanked me. How much does she earn? She earns more than 30,000 naira a month. As you're growing in the industry, you earn more. A chef, I have paid a chef 250,000 naira in the state, but I brought the person in because I didn't see the qualifications I needed. So if I can pay 250,000 naira a month as salary, then you can see that there are opportunities. From a cook earning, coming out from culinary school of 1 month, they're in school for 3 months and internship 3 months, and they're earning more than 100,000 naira right now. My first graduate is in, that's from the hospitality department, is in Ghana. Right now, earning equivalent of about 180,000 naira. And he's only 2 years in the industry. So if you are not a chef, you can be a cook, you can be a caterer, you can be food and beverage service provider, as the profession.
I see you made it clear there is a difference between being a chef and being a cook.
Yes.
So like for the benefit of like, because this is like a program that children and young people get to watch.
Yes, I've had people ask me that question on several occasions, and I try to make it as simple as ABC. I go to the university to study pharmacy, for example, and then I go to the pattern store owner shop, the medicine store, to study dispensing of drugs. What do you call them? Not really a chemist. That's the difference. I'm a pharmacist. I look at pata. I own a pharmacy, and then the other one owns a chemist.
Knows how to dispense.
You knows how to dispense.
But may not know the depth of putting
prescription
and even
do you
sometimes
understand?
the production of
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does.
A chef, when standing in the community, can speak the language, the food language, in Latin. Just like you go into the hospital and then you have common malaria and there are 2 doctors sitting down. They're talking about malaria and you don't know that it's simple malaria they're talking about. Okay, there are other methods of cooking. It's only a chef who does that. Whereas a cook can assist a chef. A cook can grow up to become a chef if he works under a chef or goes to a school. Does it make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. Well, it feels like we probably could have had like a 1 hour stretch and will still not be enough. But I mean, this morning we have been talking to a phenomenal
chef.
Don't worry, the words are getting out of me. a phenomenal food historian. I think that's what I wanted to say. Because all those other, this is Isara.
From Uran, Ibiakuran.
Oh my.
This is Isara.
Oh
but how do you know that this is not Ekbang?
No, that's not Tikbang. That's the Sahara.
Wow.
Isara. That's the one you said is made with cassava.
Cassava.
Isara.
Okay.
Well, so we've been speaking with just come back to me. Thank you, be kind. So we've been speaking with Obanwa Mara Therese Adiakpan, who is, for me, I'm going to add one now, who is a phenomenal food historian. She's a chef, a serial entrepreneur, and a film producer. And I think in the longest time on Rise and Shine, this is my best episode so far. Wow. I'm going to rave and make noise about this episode. I'll make sure everybody watches it on YouTube because I mean this is good. The history of the foods, the interpretations, and more. I mean, follow us on social media. You can have all the gist. You can also always follow our guest on her social media platforms. Try your best. Just log in and look for Obawa Mara Therese. I'm sure her name will pop up and you'll be able to find her. I mean, good history. Good history is good information. And there's something we're going to be looking at for. I'm sure turning.
And my restaurant will be opening next week Friday on the 9th. Look for me in Iwait Housing.
Come on.
Oh my. Yes. Of all locations.
I hope the way you put that, I hope the location is not going to make the food more expensive. But it's been so good to have you here on Ma. We wish we had more time to go into these conversations, but like you said, thankfully we have more opportunities that you can tell more stories about food, and the next generation can always find a place to find the history of our food. Thank you so much for coming.
About food, it's passionate for me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, at this point we're going to take a very quick break, and when we return we'll be bringing you the rest of our conversations on Rise and Shine. Just stay with us.